welcome to Shamanic Guidance. We are doing a quick 10-minute relationship reading today. These relationship readings are really deep and psychology based. They are meant to help you align with the relationship that you desire and work through kind of the inner reasons for why you're experiencing difficulties in your relationships. So we have 3 piles today. First pile is battle. Second pile is caching. Third pile is distraction. Timestamps are below, and I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. We're doing 10-minute relationship readings today. Let's flip your cards over. You've got the 5 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Mars. Daring Dreamer. The edge of evolution feels messy. You came to serve and battle. So Daring Dreamer, you don't need to adjust your dreams to fit in with what others say is realistic, sensible, or practical. Why seek to limit the power of the universe with negative expectations? Be uncompromising with your heart wisdom, listen to what it wants and yearns for, and believe that the universe has put those desires there and will show you every step to take to fulfill them. Do not allow someone else to make you feel like you should change who you are or what your heart truly yearns for, not even a tiny bit, not even for 1 single second. So we obviously have the energy of a battle. So 2 opposing forces that are meeting each other and struggling against each other. One force wants to go one way and the other force wants to go another way. So as this is a relationship reading, this could very much be symbolized by a person outside of you who is occupying that opposing force to yourself. Or, and I honestly believe it's both, this is about you and the 2 parts of you that are battling. So you could call it, maybe it's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Maybe it's your ego and your soul energy. There are 2 parts of you that are fighting with each other, and you're probably experiencing this on the outside too. And what this feels like is a part of you that wants to live a beautiful dream life that's in your heart, and a part of you that someone else might be representing that is trying to pull you away from that. So given that 5 of Pentacles with that frog pulling Alice, this is the Alice in Wonderland deck, that frog pulling Alice away from what she's trying to do there. This could be a parent, it could be a spouse, it could be anybody. There's somebody that you're likely living this inner battle out with on the outside. So there's somebody that's representing this piece of you. If you can't go all the way in at the moment, that's okay. Just think about this as an external situation. That there's somebody that's fighting against your dream, pulling you down, pulling you away from what you're trying to achieve or move into in your life. And you're right there on the edge of this battle. Like you're battling it out right now. You're feeling it, you're living it, you're in this reality. I feel like we humans very much move with this pattern from very young, as kids. We're fighting against our parents for our dreams and for the way we want to do things, and we are, losing to parents most of the time, or authority figures. I don't want to go to school. Well, you have to. We are mostly, as a society, still not supportive of following one's dreams. It's very much, here's your path forward. You're going to do this, then you're going to do this, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to do that for a while, and then you're going to have a meltdown, and then you're going to break yourself out of that and figure out your true thing. And that's kind of the pattern that we have been living. Not everybody, but it's a pretty kind of big archetypal journey of going through life with your heart going one way, your mind going one way, society pulling you one way, your inner self pulling you one way. and just the battle between these two. So it really feels like you have a dream, you have a direction that you want to go, and you're becoming more and more adamant about having it. This is mine. I'm going to have this life. And there's some opposing force that's could be very oppressive and dominating and is really pulling you away from who you want to be and what you want to do in your life. And you're just living that battle at the moment. The first thing that you can do that's helpful is to understand and acknowledge that the outer battle is just reflecting an inner battle of yours. And although the outer battle may feel like you don't have control over it, and you very well may not, you do have control over the inner psychological battle. So these two parts of your psyche, or two inner parts of you that are fighting, is the reason why you're experiencing this in your physical reality. And if you can address that inner battle, the outer one will just naturally stop, because your outer's just reflecting your inner. So let's pull some cards. I like that we have the Page of Wands following the Five of Pentacles, because it shows that you are going to break out of this energy of being dominated and pulled away from your heart's desire. And indeed, like, there is a lot of strength to what, you know, the dream that we have in our heart is very powerful too. And sometimes we forget, when we have an opposing force fighting against us, just how powerful that force is. And that, you know, there's any sort of opposition to your dream. It's like tackling that as an opportunity for you to get into alignment with your dream anyway. So it's still serving you. Like, the battle and the opposition is forcing you into greater alignment with your dream anyway. So let's pull a few more cards. We're going to deepen and clarify this reading. So we've got what the sunbeams have to show. So what the sunbeams have to show is a card that is saying, like, there is a way out of this battle, and you're being shown the way out step by step. However, you're not getting the entire picture at once, and that's really tripping you up and making you feel like maybe you're stuck, or like this is taking so much energy out of you. What the sunbeams have to show is letting you know that you're going to get one step out at a time, one step forward at a time. It's like you'll see a glimmer, and then you follow that, and that's all there is. Just that one glimmer, you follow it. Then it's dark again. Okay, then there's another glimmer because you've trusted. You follow that glimmer, it's dark again. And it's kind of like that is what the path out looks like. And you'll eventually get out of this and find your way, you know, into your dream. And you're being, like, this spirit is very much saying to you, you are being given each step, one step at a time. There is a path for you. There is a path forward for you. The universe is supporting your way to your dream. And sometimes it doesn't always look like it's supporting it. Like I said, if you have opposition, that contrast is still helping you to get into greater alignment with your desire. And sometimes I'm hearing spirits say the contrast is the faster way, because you can align in a nice, gentle, calm way. But if you want to get to your dream very fast, which you might want to, I mean, it seems like you do because you have this big battle energy, then you manifest something more drastic and extreme to help you align and move faster. And so that seems like what you're doing. But the message is very much that whatever's around you right now is supporting you in walking towards your dream. You are being given step-by-step guidance, but you need to walk one step at a time, completing each step, following each glimmer that shows up, and not getting discouraged that it's not happening all at once, because that's just not the way this is working. The way this is working is like following stepping stones across a river, and then you've crossed the river. But you can't jump all at once for this. You can't do that. You have to go step by step by step. So let's see if any other messages are wanting to come forward for you. Okay, so your next cards are You Are the Truth Seeker and Upheaval. And the message that I get right away with this is Spirit letting you know that the battle that you're dealing with is something that has been like festering in your unconscious, something that's been hidden and unavailable to you, that's been causing you problems in your life. And the fact that you're currently having the battle in your reality, like you're facing it, you're living it, that means that the material has come up out of the unconscious. It's come forward to be dealt with. And this is really, really good. So this is kind of about embracing the chaos that's around you right now, understanding at a deeper level that this is your psyche doing something really important for you, and that this is the way to get to where you want to go. Like you have to like bring this piece forward up out of the unconscious. You have to have that upheaval, that kind of tower moment where the thing comes up and you face it and oh my God, it's horrible and it's crazy, and you work through it, and it's a piece of you kind of coming up out of the unconscious waters to be dealt with. So this message is very much about how like this stuff is all right at the surface. Like you're dealing with some really important psychological material right now through this battle energy that's around you, and it's all to help you with following your dream and manifesting your dream, getting into alignment with your dream. And again, the battle helps you get into alignment with your dream. Whenever you're fighting opposition or contrast, or you're working with that energy, you're getting stronger in your own alignment, in your own position. And your final card is sublimation. It occurs when there is enough heat to change a solid substance into a gas, causing it to rise up, up, and away. This is an elevation of ascending above and gaining a greater perspective. So this is all about, again, it's just highlighting the fact that you have this material coming up out of the unconscious, and this is something to be celebrated. Remember, you know, it's hard when you're living that chaos, but to the outside observer, I really always go back to the scene of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, I think, where Ron is, it's Harry Potter #2, the Chamber of Secrets, and Ron has had a spell backfire on him, and he's belching up the slugs, and Hagrid says, better out than in. I think it's Hagrid. Anyway, the message is like, you don't want that stuff in there, in you, in your unconscious, causing trouble. It's much better to have it come up. And yes, it's an ugly momentary process that could be really gross and uncomfortable and chaotic and whatever, but then it's done, and you've got that energy that's come up and out and is processed, and then it's not causing havoc in like an unconscious, you know, suppressed way and spilling out in different areas of your life where you can't understand why, etc. Like this is something to be celebrated. So that mindset and that understanding, that deep knowing, will help you to tackle this challenge with greater, you know, stability and groundedness, because you understand what's going on and you're not getting tossed around by like the horror of it. It's like, why me? This is so terrible. It's like, no, you're doing really important psychological work here, and this is awesome, and it's going to get you closer to all of your dreams. So that's your reading, pile 1. Thank you for listening, and blessings on your journey. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. We're doing 10-minute relationship readings today, so let's flip your cards over. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Lovers. We've got building dreams, determination, and cooperation, caching. Make a mission statement for your soul. Forgiveness will set you free. What do you need to forgive yourself for? And oppression. So your tarot cards, like, I'm just laughing at the King of Wands. The 10 of Pentacles, we see, like, this is Alice in Wonderland, so we see Alice sleeping. This is a very comfortable kind of scene. There's cats sleeping with her. Nice comfy couch, just very, very comfy, cozy, and peaceful. I really get the sense that you're somebody who really revels and delights in being on your own, and that other people can really destabilize you and throw you off your energy and get you like confused and kind of losing yourself. You just feel way better when you're by yourself. You really, really struggle with dealing with people and having people in your life generally, most people. But I feel like what really bothers you are people who are like, I don't know if this is the King of Wands, it's like very kind of different and chaotic. Like somebody who feels very foreign in their thoughts and the way that they operate to you. And that energy just feels like it really throws you off. This King of Wands character feels like somebody that's come into your life for something, maybe for work. Maybe it's like, you know, the father of your child. There's somebody that you just absolutely can't understand them. And it doesn't mean that they're like strange, or they're like an odd character. It's just somebody who you absolutely can't wrap your mind around them. It's like, I don't get how they work. I don't understand them. They make no sense. What is going through their minds, that kind of thing. And you just feel like so sane and so grounded and so safe when you're by yourself. And then when you have to deal with this person, because I feel like you have to deal with them. Again, it's like when you're assigned a project with somebody, or you've had a child with somebody who you've really grown apart from, and you have to deal with them, and you're just like looking at them like, what is this? How do I deal with this? So that's the energy of the first two cards there. And then we have the Lovers, which feels like guidance for you. So what I'm feeling is that like this King of Wands character that's in your life is there as, it's kind of like a, like when you're playing piano and you hit the wrong note and it really stands out. It's like this entity in your life is just so like doesn't belong there energetically. It feels like this really doesn't belong in my life. This is so off. And what it's doing is it's heightening your understanding of what is right and what does belong in your life. And what's interesting is like the inner part of you, there's an inner part of you that is manifesting this, because ultimately when you have this kind of contrast around you, you end up going like spiraling further towards your true energy and who you really are. Like when you have something obnoxious that's outside of you in your space, it's like so opposite to you and just pulls you right out of yourself. It actually pushes you more deeply into your true energy, and then you end up manifesting like a reality or people around you that are way more aligned. So I feel like that's the real medicine of this situation, although it's challenging to deal with. But like I have lived this where I was living somewhere that was like really wrong for me, and I got stuck there in the pandemic. And it was wrong for me in the sense that like it was not me at all. I was like, I really stuck out there like a sore thumb because I was different from everybody and I did not fit in, and it was like so not my vibe. Just people that I really didn't resonate with or understand, very much like this King of Wands thing. And I ended up leaving there, and then I ended up somewhere like incredibly aligned with me and manifested incredibly aligned people and projects and community, and like just the most amazing alignment from that experience of having this like oddity in my life that so didn't align with me. So I feel like Spirit, it's letting you know that that's what's happening here. Caching is interesting because it's saying like this experience is planting seeds for your future in a way. Like you're saving you're building up the energy for something that's coming in the future, which is very much aligned with like my experience that I shared. Like you right now, this experience of having this completely opposite kind of energy around you is building your true alignment with your true place and your true people in the very near future. And this is kind of like, okay, we're in the winter, caching our food or seeds. And then in the summer, in the spring, we're going to harvest it and live it. So this is kind of, like forgiveness will set you free. What do you need to forgive yourself for? I really feel like this is a person who's struggling with the you know, the father of their child, or even the mother of their child, whoever, like somebody that you've got involved with. It's that archetype. It's not, you know, I'm not speaking only to that circumstance, but that feeling where you're tied to somebody that is just so opposite, or you've grown so far apart and you absolutely can't understand them, and you're upset with yourself and upset with them. And forgiveness will set you free. Like, this reading really shows that you're ready to move on from this sentiment that this person is oppressing you and your highest good. And you're moving into this understanding that, like, this person or people are in your life to help you build something for your, like, the dream for your future. That Frog's Return moon card, building dreams, determination, and cooperation. We've got these three frogs building this dream catcher together. And it's that dream of life that we're building with others. And this is recognizing that those people, although they're, you know, they're opposing and they're not helpful to you in a more obvious way, they're definitely putting, you know, things into your future vortex, so to speak, where you're going to be manifesting things that are way more aligned with you. And again, like I said, the Lovers card, in more esoteric understanding of the card, the Lovers is represented by the sword. In the Hebrew letter for the Lovers is Zain, I believe, and the Zain is the sword. And the sword is all about, it's like discrimination and cutting, you know, like whatever doesn't belong in your life, and developing discernment and allowing yourself to have preferences. Like, this is what I want in my life, that's what I don't want in my life. And I'm using that cutting sword to create that for myself. So make a mission statement for your soul. It really feels related to that Lovers card, because it's like you can profess to the universe, like, this is what I want, this is what's coming into my life. And in the meantime, it's like you need to find a way to make peace with that strange character. And as you do that, they won't bother you as much, or, you know, something will happen so that you're not dealing with them as often, or it'll just soften in some way as you shift this within yourself. So again, going back to the father of the child example, you know, maybe the father's mother or sister, who you like a lot better, arranges to start picking up your kid instead of the father. And it's like, oh my God, this is way better than that other experience that I was having. Or the father sister starts being involved in the care of the child, and that feels way better for you. Something like that. So this is something that you can work on within yourself, and then you can actually affect change in the outside. But forgiveness feels like a really important energy to help you get this moving and flowing, to get the manifestation changing. You have to forgive yourself primarily for getting involved with this person or this situation. So let's pull, let's say, one more card to close this reading. We've got When the Weavers Built the Sun. This says, the value of dreaming big, success at seemingly impossible tasks. Legend has it that when the dream weavers built the sun, they created a huge ball of fire so they could see all the miraculous things they wove into being. They needed light and more life force energy to flood our world so life could grow and flourish. Their big dream didn't exist before they imagined what it could be. They made it up as they went along with no plans to follow nor certainty about how to do it. Right now you're in a similar place. You have a big dream, but you don't have the how yet. Sometimes you question whether it's even possible, whether it's meant to be in the world. Don't give up on your dreams. Something unique that will serve the greater good wants you to call it to life. So this is what I'm feeling, is that this is spirit reaffirming that this situation or this person is in your life to help you build what you prefer for yourself in the future. Again, it's really revolving around this caching card. Like, you're planting the seeds with this contrast for what you truly want and for the dream of your life that you're building and weaving together for your future. So your future looks a lot more harmonious and peaceful and flowing. Like it feels, you know, the way that this reading feels is like when there's that one piano note that's off and you can really hear it, versus when all the piano notes are together, they're playing together, they're harmonious and everything's, you know, all the right keys are being hit. So that's kind of the difference between what you're experiencing and what you're building, what you're dreaming, and what you're moving towards in the future. So as you acknowledge that, it's going to really soften the situation for you and allow you to start moving forward and focusing on why this is going on for you and how to move through it in a way where you can alchemize and transmute and actually make your reality better as you change your thoughts and change your energy. So that's your reading, pile 2. Thank you for listening and blessings on your journey. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. We're doing 10-minute relationship readings today, so let's flip your cards over. You've got the Hierophant and the 5 of Cups. Distraction. Accept your fate. The Sun. Sacred Sherpa guides you beyond. Savoring pleasure. And in the tunnels of our ancestors. So what I feel is that, given this is a relationship reading, you met somebody. So looking at the Hierophant, that's the Alice in Wonderland Tarot, so Alice and the Cheshire Cat. You've met somebody that, you know, might have been a bit of a trickster energy. So this is somebody who was promising something, offering something, or portraying themselves as something, and you were drawn to them for whatever reason, some circumstance, or, you know, something in you was drawn to this person, but they ended up being a real trickster figure. So this is somebody who changed personalities, who suddenly, you know, got overtaken by their shadow and totally became someone else and started attacking you. Like, this is just somebody who ended up being very not good for you and left you with the 5 of Cups kind of energy, where you've been left with your focus being on what you've lost rather than on what you have. And it feels like that is what has caused your life to kind of become stagnant in a way. And it's really like this person that has distracted you from your fate, that pulled you off your path, that has caused you to now get stuck focusing on all the things that you've lost. You know, maybe this person caused you to like lose members of your family and lose your friends. Like, this is somebody who pulled you away from your circle and guided you, you know, maybe even to change your career. Like, you listened to their advice, and it's like they pulled you somewhere where your actual physical reality life really changed, and you feel like you lost so much. Like, you had so much and you lost a lot, and you're just so distracted by that loss that happened and the way that this person tricked you. Or, you know, you got involved with somebody who just really took you for a ride. Like, somebody came on your path and just really caused you a lot of trouble. So it's almost like there's a piece of you that's unable to accept that this even happened. Like, your psyche can't even, you know, really fully digest this, that this very terrible, you know, person did this to you. It's almost like you just can't accept it. Like, there's a block there. And what that's causing you to do is really focus on everything that you've lost because of this experience. So even though you still have full cups on the ground, like, all your focus and all your energy is directed towards the shock and just the horror of the experience itself and what all the loss that it led to. So accept your fate there with Belladonna is asking you to work on, you know, psychologically processing this. because until you do, you're going to continue focusing only on what you've lost and on being stuck and on having trouble manifesting like better, good things for yourself. It's very much like, you know, when something really good goes away or somebody dies or a lover leaves, we have a lot of trouble accepting pleasure and welcoming good stuff into our life again, because it's like we go into this unworthiness energy. Those kinds of experiences like plunge us into, you know, an unconscious unworthiness stuff that we've got stuck in ourselves, which is, it's a good thing because you got to go in there and you got to deal with it. But it's like, yeah, you're having trouble welcoming in new energy, welcoming in new pleasures because of being stuck on this situation. And it feels like this was really terrible for you. Like this person was really a terrible influence in your life in terms of what you're currently living. Now, that doesn't mean that this wasn't meant to happen and that there is some benefit for you in it. And what you need to do is really go into that and process it. But again, like I said, it seems like you're stuck on the shock of it and you've been unable to accept that it actually happened. And you have to do that first. And it feels like this is also, you know, with in the tunnels of our ancestors, I feel like that's spirit letting you know that you're dealing with stuff that's in your roots, that's you know, maybe you can't accept that this happened to you because it feels like it's not, you know, it's your ancestors and the traumas that they lived through that they just passed to you. And it doesn't feel like you. And it was so jarring on your system because it was so not you that you're really having trouble accepting it and processing it and digesting it. So sacred Sherpa guides you beyond. Sometimes the invitation forward in life looks like a stop sign. It seems like a kink in the plan you thought was unfolding so perfectly, a no when you wanted to hear a yes. However, the stop signs in life are ways of the divine saying, slow down and let me help you here. There is a better way and I can lead you there if you allow me. So I feel like on the one side of, you know, the way that you can perceive this, it's like, yeah, this terrible thing happened and I lost all this stuff and it was so bad and, you know, I'm stuck now and I can't move on, etc. And on the other hand, you can look at this as, you know, something that came into your life to remove things from you that weren't meant to be for you anyway, that weren't good for you, and that this trickster energy was a positive in your life. And I feel like you have trouble actually seeing it that way, but it's like that's what you need to do in order to move on here. So let's see if we can pull some more cards and help you to actually process this energy so that you can really feel and sink into the understanding that your foray, your rendezvous with this person or this situation, whatever this is, I mean, it's a relationship reading, so most likely a person, your rendezvous with this person ultimately is something that is meant to benefit you, is going to help you get to manifestations and a life that actually is what you want. But you can't see that, and part of why you can't see that is because you're still living the aftermath of your experience. So you're still living like the empty, like maybe you lost your job, you lost your friends, you lost your partner, you lost everything, and you're still stuck there. Like you haven't remanifested anything. So you're just living it still. And so it feels like you were so negatively impacted and you can't see, it's like you can't process that and you can't see beyond it so that you can allow yourself to remanifest stuff. So again, let's pull some more cards and see if we can get this energy moving. So here's 4 more cards for you. Get back to elemental. Even wisdom needs to rest. Come together, we need each other. Or have you been separating yourself or pushing against others in the world? And Isia, threshold of Isis. Okay, so I feel like this Isis card is really important. So listen carefully. I'm going to read the first paragraph here. The Isia is a sacred festival devoted to Isis and was celebrated in ancient Rome. Details about how the festival was honored are scant. However, at a similar time of year, around late October in the Gregorian calendar, which is the time of this reading, in ancient Egypt, a festival of Osiris was honored and well chronicled at temples at Abydos and Dendera. This festival celebrated the journey of Isis's beloved husband Osiris, symbolically honoring his conflict with his brother Set, who was plagued by jealousy and successfully plotted Osiris's death. The festival honored the healing restoration of Isis's magic, which brought Osiris back to life, leading him to assume his new role as king of the dead, and allowing Isis to conceive the magical divine child Horus, who would become the new king, defeat Set, and restore order, justice, and goodness to Egypt. Now, I feel like this is kind of exactly your story. So it's this interplay between your inner Isis and your inner Osiris. And so your inner Osiris is the one who got into the conflict that ended up in his death. Isis is the restorative, regenerating, resurrecting energy within you. And it's Isis's magic that brings Osiris back to life. And ultimately then she helps him become king of the dead. And then she conceives a child as well. And then all the balance is restored. So I don't really feel like I can tell you how to achieve this, but this archetypal story is extremely important. This myth is your story here. This is what you've lived. You've lived the myth of Osiris and Isis, and your work is to use the magic of Isis, the feminine, to heal the Osiris, which is, you could say, is your external reality, your external life. All the things that you've lost is like the Osiris, and the Isis is that magic that rebirths everything. And it's like you're finding your inner Isis through this journey, and maybe this is a piece of you that wasn't active to begin with, and you needed this experience in order to wake something up in you, wake up this Isis character, this energy of resurrecting, rebirthing, and replenishing your energy. Maybe this is something within your unconscious that you've always had repressed, like you didn't have the magic of Isis active and at your fingertips, this rebirthing energy. So take that myth, study it, think about it, and just bring it in your awareness and use it as a lens to see your life through and what you've been through. And as you do that, you will see things start to shift for you. You will see pieces coming together. You'll get guidance from spirit. Things will happen. Just trust. Take that myth and trust that it's going to get you somewhere. So come together. We need each other. I really feel like it's saying, your inner Osiris and your inner Isis and your inner Set, the brother who killed Osiris, those are all pieces of you. And you're really rejecting and exiling and being angry at that Set energy that came and killed the Osiris. And it's like your Isis is stuck in mourning and can't see beyond what happened. And that's what's going on here. And you have to rebalance these archetypal energies within yourself. So if I were you, I might draw, if you're an artist, or maybe you can sing energy or do crystal grids or something or light language, something to get these energies within you in balance and welcome that Set energy back in. If you use the myth as your way of healing yourself, rather than using your own life and the people that are in your life, you'll be able to approach this a lot more easily, because it's way easier to approach this through myth and to heal it that way than to do it with your own life. So use Isis, Osiris, and Set and make those three have a peace ceremony, draw that out. And that's the way that you begin healing this part of you. Again, come together. We need each other. It's like welcoming that Set energy in and seeing that he has a place in your life, in your psyche, that is valuable and helpful, and that ultimately, that energy that took those pieces of you away, whatever Osiris had that was lost, it's that wasn't in alignment for him, or it wasn't his true his true beingness, his magnificence, and Isis, through her replenishing energy, was able to resurrect Osiris and get him into his true position, which is as god of the underworld. And then she even has a child after. So again, just take that story, take that myth, and use it. This even wisdom needs to rest card. It's just, again, highlighting the fact that, as I said at the beginning of the reading, you're having trouble digesting what you went through. It's a lot. It's like you might have been through so much and you're having trouble digesting the largeness of the experience. And so this card is about giving yourself time to slow down and dream, allowing ideas to form without forward movement, and speaks to a necessary natural cycle of downtime. So you might be overwhelmed. There's way too much to integrate. You can't digest this all at once. Allow for a slower process of integration to happen. You know, you don't need all those manifestations back in your life right away. Your first step is to process this thing that happened to you, you know, in the psyche, and using that myth to process and just get things right on the energetic level first, before you're asking for and expecting for the rebirthing of those things back into your life. So, you know, maybe you lost all your friends and your job, and you're just so focused on getting friends again. And it's like you can't rest and just be, you know, at peace. It's like this desperation to have the physical thing back in your life. And Spirit is saying the first step is to heal the energy. The physical stuff can't show up until the energy's healed. And if it's not showing up, then your energy's not healed. So go to your energy. Get back to elemental. I feel like just affirms what I said about using the myth of Isis as your healing tool. So it says a time to bring some elemental magic into your life, getting outside, doing something witchy or wild, letting go of who you believe you have to be, stepping into your elemental self, breaking free of pragmatism and logic, explore the world with a childlike curiosity. So break things down into their simplest elements and get back to your roots. What are the basics of what you're building? So again, it's the messages around like stripping this to the psychological issue, to the myth, and to addressing the energy. So rather than jumping to the physical and to what you want happening in your future and how you want all this to remedy itself, not jumping to those physical outcomes, but going to the energy first and allowing everything to integrate using that myth. So that's your reading, pile 3. Thank you for listening, and blessings on your journey.